Our next reader is Kimberly Kim. Kimberly Kim loves to explore the world. She has lived in New York, Memphis, Detroit, Seoul, and San Francisco. She has worked as an ESL teacher and a newspaper intern. She's currently hard at work on her first novel about a young Korean-American woman attending art school as a foreign exchange student in South Korea. It's my honor to introduce one of the sweetest people in the world, Kimberly Kim.
Hello, thank you all for being here tonight. There are so many people that I want to thank. I would like to thank my thesis committee, Anne Marino, Amy Fan, and Matt Irbarne. You've all really helped me to delve deep into my thesis, not only my thesis, but into my writing and into my life. It's been an incredible experience working with you all, and I truly cherish the time that I've spent with you all. And my family is here tonight. I'm really excited. I love them so much. I'm so glad that they've come from Michigan and LA, and my heart is just bursting. And my friends, my classmates, the faculty, I love you all. You've made this experience amazing, and it's just seriously been incredible. So thank you. Well, now I will read from my novel. The working title is Somewhere in Between, and my protagonist is Darla Choi, and as Bert mentioned, she is a foreign exchange student who has gone to Korea to study graphic design. And I will be reading chapter 3, where she meets a guy. Woo, Sasha. So, here we go. Okay. Sasha was a breath of fresh air, a new face in the crowd, and he wasn't about to bombard Darla with questions that reminded her of the schoolwork that awaited her at home. As the museum's night watchman, Sasha was outside the front door, lighting up a cigarette, when Darla accidentally bumped into him while she was taking a photo of a statue of a famous Korean war hero, Admiral Yi Sun-shi. A heavy wind picked up and blew out his cigarette. Sasha cursed and took out another from his pack. Darla, still red from bumping into him, offered to light his cigarette. He looked at her attentively. She held up her lighter. He held up his cigarette. He took a puff. Their eyes met. 안녕하세요, Darla said to him in Korean. 안녕, he replied. You look kind of different from the folks around here, he said to her in English. She looked at him very carefully. He had a uniform on that was very clean, but not quite crisp. Loose-fitting, actually. His hair was long in the front and very short and buzzed in the back. He looked young to Darla, but was probably in his late 20s or early 30s. His face was not clean-shaven, but slightly stubbly, which did make him seem a bit older. You speak English? Yes, I do, he said. Darla let out a sigh. She smiled wide and appreciatively. Sasha noticed her relief. Darla hurried and regained her pose. She didn't want to seem too casual. How did he know I spoke English? She wondered to herself. Maybe it's the way I look. You look kind of different from the folks around here, Sasha said again, with one hand on his hip and the other holding his cigarette. He looked relaxed and kind of funny with his hand like that, resting on his hip all sassy-like. You look kind of different yourself, Darla shot back. Perhaps I am different, Sasha said. Sure, Darla said. Well, not as different as some of the people and places I've seen in my life, he said. Really? Want to talk about it? Suppose so. That's if you're willing to listen. Of course I am. What are some of the places you've been to? She said. Lots of places. Seen lots of things and done lots of things. I've been to America. He paused for dramatic effect, and Darla acted semi-impressed. Well, she was actually really impressed. Sasha was the first person she had talked to in Seoul who had been to the U.S. I've been to Arizona, California, and Florida, he said. Did you like visiting them? Yeah, they were great. I met some interesting people. America's full of interesting people, she replied. Are you one of them? I think so. I could be, he said to her. Well, I have to get back on duty. It would be great to chat with you some more. How about you meet me at a cafe and we'll talk about it till the cows come home? Cows, huh? I like cows. Well, sure. I can do that. I suppose we can meet. Okay, meet me this Saturday in Insadong. He looked around, then asked Darla, you got a pen? She took a pen out from the front pocket of her backpack. He scribbled some numbers on a scrap paper from his own pocket and handed it to Darla. There's a Starbucks on the main road. You can't miss it. Call me if you get lost. I know. I won't get lost. Darla went home that night with stars in her eyes. She hadn't felt this elated, not since her very first date with her first serious boyfriend back in 10th grade. But that was back in high school. This was now, and Darla was a college girl, practically all grown up. Darla got up late on Saturday. She ran around Seoul, running errands, buying a new sweater for the date. She also decided on a sterling silver necklace to match the V-shaped neckline of her new purple sweater. It had 2 pieces attached to the chain as separate entities, 1 silver lock and 1 silver key. She had always been fascinated by locks and keys. Her face lit up upon finding the necklace at a jewelry store in the Ide subway station. This will look great tonight, she said to herself in the mirror as she got ready. She also wore a denim miniskirt with her new purple sweater and leggings and black knee-high boots. Darla walked into Starbucks in Insadong and looked around for Sasha. The place was abuzz with customers, looking for a caffeine buzz and a nice evening chat. She too was looking for something, perhaps a buzz, or some ephemeral tinge of excitement, something like what she felt when she first locked eyes with Sasha that day in front of the museum. She quickly spotted him. He must have noticed her as soon as she walked in, because he immediately stood up from his back corner table behind the stairs and waved his hand furiously. He was wearing all black, a pair of slacks, and a turtleneck. He looked stealthily dashing to her. His eyes were sharp as they looked that first day, and he looked straight at her. He had shaved too. His face was smooth and very bright under the lights in the cafe. Darla, he called out to her. Sasha, there you are. She smiled warmly. As she neared the table, he stood up, ready to pull out the chair for her. As they sat down, Darla noticed that there were many people in the cafe, couples just like them, chatting and sipping drinks. She felt a bit more comfortable and at ease at this realization and ready to chat with Sasha too. Great necklace, he said to her. She felt pleased that he noticed. Thanks, she said. I've always liked locks and keys, he said. She blushed and felt a slight moment of connect over this. I have a lock myself. It's from Houdini, he said. No way, Darla replied. Yeah, I like to collect things, he smiled. Did you know that Houdini passed away on Halloween? What? That's creepy, she said. Yeah, somewhat. You have a thing for Houdini or something? She said. No, I just like to collect things, but magic is also kind of neat to me too, he said. I see. So, can you perform magic? She asked. Perhaps. Can you? He said. Me? Perform magic? I've always wanted to do something like that. Something magical, anyway. I bet you do things in your life right now that are magical, he said. Darla laughed. I'm not joking. I bet you do things that are magical, she said and smirked at him. Okay, want to see? He asked her. Yeah, show me. Sasha lifted his hands from the tabletop. He shaped his hands into the form of a bird. It almost looked like a dove in Darla's mind's eye. It fluttered for a minute or two, then stopped. Why did it stop? She asked. Sasha closed his hands together and cupped them. Open my hands, he said to her. When she opened them, Darla gasped. It was her necklace, the lock and key necklace, was right there in his palms. Oh my gosh, how did you do that? It's magic, he said, and he gave the necklace back to Darla. Thank you.